Hi, let's explore how to use Power Query in Excel. It allows you to import, clean, and prepare data automatically, without complex formulas or repetitive manual work. Let's start by understanding where Power Query is in Excel. Go to the Data tab on the ribbon. In the Get and Transform Data group, you'll find Power Query tools. This is where all Power Query work begins. Here, you can import data from a delimited text file, such as comma, space, or tab-delimited files. You can also import data directly from a website or bring data in from an existing Excel table or range. And the options don't end here. When you click the Get Data drop-down, it expands your import options even further. You can import data from databases, web services, and many other sources. You can choose the option that best suits your needs. For this example, we'll import data from a website, as shown on the screen. The web page contains a table listing the states of the United States. This table includes state names, capital cities, largest cities, population, and area in both square miles and square kilometers. Manually copying this data would be a time-consuming and error-prone task. This is where Power Query comes to the rescue. Click from Web. You'll see two options, Basic and Advanced. We'll use the Basic option, which is ideal for importing simple web tables. Paste the website URL and click OK. Excel may take a few moments to analyze the web page. Once it finishes, the Navigator window opens. On the left side, you'll see a list of all HTML tables found on that web page. You can click Web View to confirm that the correct web page has been loaded. Then, select each table from the list. When you click a table name, a preview of its data appears on the right side of the Navigator window. This preview helps you identify the table you want to import. Select the table you want to import, then choose between Load, Load To, and Transform Data. You can select to Load to import the data directly into a new worksheet, or choose Load To if you want more control, such as loading the data as a table, a pivot table report, or a pivot chart. Both of these options import the data exactly as it exists at the source. They do not modify, correct, replace, remove, or insert any additional data. These options are ideal when the data you're importing is already clean and doesn't require any changes. However, if you need to clean or modify the data before it appears in Excel, you must use the Transform Data option. First, let's try the Load option. Excel creates a new worksheet, automatically names it after the table, and imports all the data. Excel also converts the imported data into an Excel table. As you can see on the screen, a message appears suggesting you enhance your table with color styles. The Table Design tab becomes available, allowing you to customize the table's appearance. On the right side of the Excel window, the Queries and Connections pane appears. In the Queries tab, a query named States of the United States of America is created, showing that 51 rows have been loaded. This query stores all the steps used to import and prepare the data, allowing you to refresh or modify the data at any time without repeating the entire process. Let's import the same data again, this time into a new workbook. Select the table you want to import, and instead of clicking Load, click Transform Data. This opens the Power Query Editor. This is where all data cleaning, transformation, and preparation happens before the data is loaded into Excel. In the left pane, you'll see the queries list. In our case, there's only one query, named after the table we selected. If you had selected multiple tables in the Navigator window, you would see multiple queries listed here. At the top of the data preview, you'll notice a formula bar. This shows the M code, which is the language Power Query uses behind the scenes. This code represents the steps Power Query is applying to your data. You don't need to write this code manually, but it updates automatically as you perform actions using the interface. On the right side, you'll find the Query Settings pane. This pane has two sections. The Properties section lets you rename the query to something more meaningful. Below that, the Applied Steps section lists every transformation that has been applied to the data. Power Query records each action as a step and replays these steps whenever the data is refreshed. In the center, you see a live preview of the data as it will appear after each transformation. The ribbon in the Power Query Editor provides commands such as use first row as headers or use headers as first row. Every action you perform using these commands is automatically added to the applied steps list. For example, when we convert headers back to a regular row, Power Query adds a step called Demoted Headers. You may also notice a step called Change Type. This step is added automatically because Power Query tries to detect and assign appropriate data types, such as text, numbers, or dates, during the import process. You could delete any step from the Applied Steps pane. Removing a step immediately undoes that specific transformation. As you can see, deleting the Change Type and Promoted Headers steps converts the headers back into normal data rows. When you click Use First Row as headers again, Power Query recreates the header row and once again adds a Change Type step. This happens because Power Query automatically reassesses and assigns data types whenever the structure of the table changes. Next, let's rename the column headings and remove the columns and rows we don't need. To rename a column, simply double-click its heading to highlight it, then type the new name. Let's rename the first column to State. Move to the next column, which contains the abbreviations for each state, and rename it to abbreviation or any heading you prefer. The next column is named Cities, but notice that the actual meaning of this column is shown in the next row as capital. Since we've already promoted the headers, we'll rename this column to Capital City. The following column is named Cities_2, and its subheading indicates largest. We'll rename this column to Largest City. The next column, Ratification or Admission, is not required for our final result, so we'll remove it. To delete a column, select the column you don't need, go to the Home tab in the Power Query editor, and click Remove Columns. The column is immediately removed. In the same way, we remove all other columns that are not required in the final output. For the area information, we have two columns. We want to keep only the square miles value. First, we rename the column showing area in miles to something meaningful. Then we select the column showing area in kilometers and remove it using Remove Columns. We also remove the last column, as it is not needed. Now notice that the first data row actually contains subheadings that are no longer useful, since we've already added proper column headings. This row is no longer required, so we'll delete it. To remove this row, go to the Home tab and click Remove Rows. From the menu, choose Remove Top Rows. In the dialog box, enter 1 as the number of rows to remove, then click OK. Power Query immediately removes the first row and records this action in the Applied Steps list. Next, let's adjust the data types of the columns. Each column has a small data type icon on the left side of its header. If Power Query assigns an incorrect data type, you can click this icon and choose the correct one. For example, the total area column is currently set as text, even though it contains numbers. Click the data type icon and change it to whole number. If you later decide to change it again, Power Query asks whether you want to replace the existing step or add a new one. We'll choose Replace Current so that Power Query doesn't apply multiple data type conversions. Power Query supports all Excel data types, so you can manually assign the most appropriate type to each column. If you look at the Applied Steps pane, you can see all your actions listed in order. You can undo any step at any time by deleting it. The Home tab contains the most commonly used tools for cleaning data. From here, you can remove or keep rows and columns, promote or demote headers, split columns, replace values, and manage data types. Most day-to-day data cleaning tasks are handled from this tab. Power Query also offers an automatic way to detect data types. Go to the Transform tab and click Detect Data Type. Power Query re-evaluates the data and updates column types accordingly. In our case, it changed the area column back to whole number, replacing the previously assigned type. The Transform tab focuses on reshaping data. Here, you can split or merge columns, format text, extract values, perform calculations, and automatically detect data types. This tab is especially useful when you need to modify how data is structured. The Add Column tab allows you to create new columns based on existing data. You can add custom formulas, conditional columns, and index columns. Let's add an index column. Click Index Column, choose from 1, and Power Query adds a new column named Index at the end of the table, numbering each row starting from 1. Since we want this index column to appear at the beginning of the table, simply drag it to the first position. The View tab controls how the Power Query Editor looks. From here, you can show or hide elements such as the formula bar, column quality indicators, column distribution, and column profile. These visual tools help you better understand your data while cleaning and transforming it. At this point, our data is clean, well-structured, and ready to be loaded back into Excel. Go to the Home tab in the Power Query Editor and click Close and Load. The data now appears in the worksheet, similar to how it looked when we used the Load option earlier. The difference is that this time the data has been cleaned and transformed. Unnecessary columns and rows have been removed, headers and data types have been corrected, and an additional index column has been added. You can further customize the appearance of the data using the Table Design tab. Excel provides a wide range of built-in table styles that you can apply with a single click. In the Queries and Connections pane, you'll notice that a new query has been added under the Queries section. The Connections section is empty in this case because Excel does not create a traditional data connection for simple sources such as web pages, text files, or local files. Connections usually appear when you import data from databases or external services that require a specific connection protocol, such as SQL Server, Oracle, or other enterprise data sources. If you later need to modify the data, simply double-click the query in the Queries pane. This reopens the Power Query Editor, allowing you to adjust any steps or apply new transformations. And if the data changes on the source website, for example, if new records are added or existing ones are removed, you don't need to repeat the entire process. Just right-click the query and choose Refresh, and Excel will update the worksheet with the latest data from a source. In this example, we imported data from the web, but you can use Power Query with many other sources. Regardless of the source, the steps you follow after importing the data remain largely the same. For example, instead of a website, you could import the same state's data from a text or CSV file. When you select the file, Excel automatically detects the delimiter used in the data, such as a tab, comma, or semicolon. You can see the detected delimiter in the import preview. When you click Transform Data, the same Power Query Editor opens. From there, you repeat the same cleaning steps, renaming column headings, removing unnecessary columns, and adding an index column. The process is consistent across different data sources, which is what makes Power Query such a powerful and flexible tool. Now close the Power Query Editor. Notice that the last column heading hasn't been renamed yet. To fix this, double-click the query to reopen the editor, rename the column heading, and then close the editor again. Next, open the source text file that we transformed using Power Query. Delete a few records from the file and save it. Return to Excel and refresh the query. You'll notice that the Excel table updates automatically to reflect the changes made in the source file. Now open the text file again, add some new records, and save the file. Once more, refresh the query from the Queries and Connections pane, and the newly added data appears in the Excel table. In conclusion, you don't need to repeat the same cleaning and transformation steps every time the source data changes. Power Query remembers all your steps. Whenever the source is updated, simply refresh the query, and the cleaned, updated data becomes available instantly, without any manual effort. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please share the video, like it, and subscribe to the channel.